Hey everybody, this is episode 4 of the Whiteboard with Zach and Gus.
What's up everyone? Today we're going to be talking about Yeti, GoPro, and RedBull and just kind of how they market their brands and how they've expanded from a one-dimensional brand to kind of a whole lifestyle brand. We're going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick and his whole situation, his protest, if he can get an NFL job. We're going to talk about Lavar Ball and if his marketing is strategic or if he's just being a loudmouth. And then we're going to talk about the top artists or albums of our childhood. And most importantly, we got a special guest on the podcast today, Brecken Reiman. Say what's up.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm excited to be on here.
Yeah, Breck, why don't you, starting off, just tell the people a little bit about yourself, what you have going on. And just go for it.
So I recently started a podcast that's called Plead the First. It's going to be mostly like political relationships with business, music, art, those kind of things, and just the political landscape of what's going on. But I also want to have a wide range of guests of people that want to come on and either like debate or say their side, teach me something new that I don't know about. So I just kind of want to, do that. I want to be like a reasoning voice in politics because there's not a lot of that anymore. There's a lot of people screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to bring that to the forefront, I guess you could say.
Got it. Very cool. Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll just get right into our first topic. So first thing we want to talk about is Yeti, GoPro, and RedBull and how they've kind of developed as brands and where they're at now. Those are all kind of brands that I think that we like in different ways.
Definitely.
They're just, I think the biggest thing with those, and you guys can touch on it too, is just they add an element of it that just makes it cool to be a part of it, to have their stuff, that kind of thing. And I think that's why their stuff is so successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's interesting how, like, you look at Red Bull's competitors, you have like Monster, Rockstar, like kind of drinks like that, and they're really not very close to Red Bull. And when you think about like these energy drinks, a lot of people, first thing you think of, it's unhealthy, you don't want to drink them all the time. And then when you think of Red Bull, you're not necessarily thinking of that, because you think of all the cool stuff they do. They do other videos for the X Games and like the skydiving and things like that. So how would you guys say that, we'll start with Red Bull like specifically, how do you think that they've transformed like that kind of one-dimensional brand of just being like an energy drink to this whole like lifestyle brand that people want to be a part of?
Yeah, I think with them, I mean, they started, I think the coolest thing with them is how they started getting those athletes and whatnot, and then that makes them, I don't know, they have the different athletes, and it's mostly like extreme sports stuff that they do. I don't think they do it in anything else. But I think them just sponsoring those athletes, getting them to wear their stuff and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
If you look at all those brands, it's more than just like a cooler or a energy drink or a camera. It's like you said earlier, it's a lifestyle. Like, so people want to be a part of that. They see that. Like, I know with my Yeti stuff, it's a lot of it's the brand. Like, I could get other off brands that are cheaper and whatever, but like, it's not.
Yeah, I was kind of talking about
thing.
Yeti. One thing I'd say, like Yeti, one of the competitors right now is Hydro Flask, and Hydro Flask are obviously doing pretty well right now. But me and Z we're talking about the other day, I kind of think that Hydro Flask is going to be going down because Yeti is just building such a bigger brand around themselves than Hydro Flask is. Like, Hydro Flask, you kind of only know them for like their water bottles, but then Yeti has like the cooler, they have like the cool Twitter account, everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, their social media is insane. Like, you see, they have people that, like, people send in pictures of them camping or hunting or fishing or whatever it is, and then they'll post it, and everyone's like, sees that, and they're like, that could be me.
So how do you guys?
That's a good point though. That's a cool thing that all those do is they like take their submissions and stuff, and they repost whether it's GoPro with videos or Yeti with like their pictures. And I think Red Bull does it too. I think that's a really cool thing to get people involved in. And I know like GoPro, I think they do like giveaways maybe with the submission stuff. I'm not sure, but that's always, I think, a kind of a cool concept around their brands as well.
Another thing too is like when, like, I know Yeti does a thing where you can get custom ones if you're a business and buy a bunch. So like a lot of times businesses will buy them for like employees for like a Christmas gift and put their logo on it and stuff like that, or in a contest or something.
How do you guys think they like built what they did? Do you think it's just through their like how do you think they marketed this? Because you look at, like what you guys are saying, they let their fans kind of do a lot of the marketing for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that's important? Do you think anyone can kind of do this, like any brand, or do you think that those guys kind of had an advantage just for like who they were, or how do you?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I think that it depends. I mean, I think a lot of companies that sell products, I think they could almost all do that. Not as much like a service. Cause
Yeah, it has to be a
And how do you think they do it? Do you think it has to be like a product? How do you think products can do that? Do you think it's really in the fans market for them, or do you think it's kind of there's not just one outlet that everyone can
It's a
follow?
little bit of everything. It's
Yeah,
not just
I would
one
say
thing.
at the beginning they definitely got to push their stuff and go out of their way to sponsor those athletes, push the content that's cool, makes their brand cool. But then after that, I think the biggest thing is having their customers like push the
Take care of
content.
itself.
Exactly, because if you think about it, if they do a giveaway or something like that by posting a picture, somebody posts a picture on their Instagram, and then all the people that follow them see it, and maybe they have no idea what it is, but then they can see.
Yeah.
And then.
And the thing is also, like people love to be recognized, you know, like on Twitter and stuff like that. So if people are tweeting at Yeti and Yeti's retweeting all this stuff, it just makes more people want to tweet at them, you know, and that's just expanding their marketing even more.
And another thing too is like, as far as most like RedBull, obviously not, but the other two products are pretty expensive. It's definitely a commitment to buy them.
Yeah.
But in your head, when you buy that, when you think about it, you're like, well, I'll have this cool for the rest of my life, or I can use this GoPro anywhere and do anything with it, you know?
Exactly.
So I think that's a big part of it too, is like, they're worth the cost that you pay. I think most people can justify paying that much for something.
I understand like how like Yeti could do this or how GoPro could do this, because this is kind of like in that range of being like the stuff they do, the people are buying it are like these like campers or like they like adventures like surfing, things like that.
Yeah.
But the one that really interests me is RedBull, because how do you guys think they were able to build this? Because that's literally just, when I think of energy drinks, not necessarily RedBull, but I think of like 8th grade kids drinking a Monster like after school or something. I don't think of like, how do you think Red Bull is able to build such a big brand around this and make like an energy drink such a big thing? It's cool.
I think Z touched on it earlier when he said that they kind of got those athletes involved in their extreme sports stuff and pushed that kind of stuff.
Which is kind of crazy to think about, because if you think about it, if you were in their shoes starting that up, like how do you think, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sponsor athletes.
Exactly, to have a energy
Exactly,
drink.
and then
Well,
just
because
push it
that's
that
kind
way.
of, it kind of goes back to the discussion with like the Nike Adidas we're talking about. Do you think, like, the more I think about it, the most important thing you can do for almost any company is to just get like a big name behind you, you know, like something, like not necessarily like big, like someone like with financial, like not someone to cover the finances, but someone who's just like cool in pop culture, you know, because that's just what makes
Well, it's
everyone
huge.
else.
I mean, if you look at the way the world works now, everything you see everything in a matter of minutes. You can see something from across the world. So if you get someone that's recognizable, their face, their name, and you can get behind that, then absolutely you're gonna do well, because like I said, everyone sees everything almost now. There's no like hiding anything, and if you get something out there like that and do it the right way, that you can reach the whole world.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
What do you guys, like, what do you think this adds to a brand, people doing this? Do you think it's more so, like, when you add this to a brand, is this, I can't phrase this the right way.
I think I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's like, I think it's like the, I forget what the exact term is, but just like that brand commitment. I think that's the biggest thing that it adds.
Yeah, like customer loyalty.
Yeah, because like I love Red Bull, and like there's no other like energy drink that I drink, so it's just like I'm always coming back to that. And with these products, like Breck was talking about, the Yeti and the GoPro being high price items, like you're gonna buy that thing and commit to it, and you know you won't have to buy other like little things along the way when they break and that kind of thing. So like that brand loyalty, I think, is the biggest part that they get out of it.
With that said though too, is like if you look at GoPro and Yeti, they both have accessories that come with each of their things. So like you get the mug, and then you're like, they come out with the mag slider lid that they just came out with, and
Like
look
all
at
these
that.
things that are gonna make their existing products better.
Exactly. So it's all these add-ons that people don't really.
And like
think
with
they're there.
GoPro, like they have the different things you can hook up the GoPro to.
Exactly.
Like
You got the mounts and like the cases and that kind of stuff. So I think that's another thing, because then people keep coming back, and then
What is,
they're looking at the product, they're in the store, they're seeing it, so they're like, oh, maybe I'll buy another GoPro.
what else is, like, that's like, it totally makes sense to me how Yeti and GoPro is doing this, but like, what is Red Bull? Do you guys know? Because I don't know a ton about Red Bull, but are they making money other ways, or are they just making it off their energy drinks? Because it
Probably just off their energy drinks.
I
I
know
know they
it's-
just came out with a bunch of new flavors of energy drinks,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I honestly am not sure. I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Jackass, but
Yeah, I think it just probably is their drinks. I mean, they do have.
they run events and stuff, so I don't know if they get stuff
and
from
I
that.
think they do have some merchandise as well. I don't know
And,
if you
like,
can buy it on their website.
the reason I'm asking is because like these like I remember that guy who broke the record for like highest skydive. I can't remember his name, but like Red Bull sponsored it or whatever. And I can't imagine, like that had to cost a ton of money.
Yeah.
And I just been wondering like how, because I can understand like if you're selling things that are $100, but everything they sell is like $250 or whatever that is. It's kind of weird because like they're willing to take those huge risks doing these things, and ours isn't even necessarily marketing, but it's just like it's giving people an experience and showing them like the story behind. That's kind of one thing that like I was thinking about. We're talking about how Nike and Adidas, they create a story behind their brand, you know?
Yeah.
That's like what Red Bull, I think that's their main thing. They're creating a story behind.
It's just a badass.
Well, if you look at it too, though, you said you buy like 250. 250 is like the small one, it's the cheapest one. It's
if
small.
you get like a 12-pack.
Right, they're expensive. So I wonder what their margin was. It gotta be pretty
Also,
good.
if you think about it, it's not just that. Like at the bar, like at Marco's and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that, they sell
like a ton of bars.
Exactly. So I bet you it's not just like that single consumer.
Jaeger
Yeah.
bombs.
Yeah.
Bombs.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
But we just touch on a little more, like saying basically any product can do this. But
I think so.
do you think how come more haven't followed in Red Bull steps? Like I haven't seen Monster or Rockstar try this. Do you think?
I think a lot of there's not necessarily energy drink companies, but there's a lot of companies that do Red Bull marketing style.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of
that's a coined term now in business.
I think
Red Bull marketing.
Yeah, I think also it's gonna start expanding a lot because a lot of these businessmen are just old-fashioned. They don't want to take the risk of putting like hundreds of thousands of dollars into this thing of like a video that's not even necessarily like.
Right.
It's more like a jab than a hook, you know, because it's not really telling people go buy our thing. It's just creating a
What's
story.
crazy too is like when Red Bull comes out with new flavors. Like I don't know if they come to see you at all, but like on my campus they'll come and just give them out. They have that little truck they drive around and just gives out free Red Bulls. Like,
they used to come to like baseball tournaments.
how cool was that? Like what other company like they give little samples out, not full, but like they give a
No, but there's like times like I went to like before Rockies games. I'm not sure if you guys ever noticed that, but they'll give away like free cans. Everyone going in.
Yeah, but like full cans, not just little like.
Oh, so
samples,
I think you're
you know?
saying yeah. Okay, yeah.
Which I think is cool because if you get that and like it's free, so everyone's.
Because think of how many
probably
people
gonna
have
get it.
preconceived notions like, oh, I'm never gonna drink Red Bull, it's bad for you, and then they get the
You
free
get it
one.
for
Like,
free,
yeah, I'm gonna
drink it, and like they have the no sugar one, like the whatever it is. I mean, I'm sure it's not great for you, but
It's kind of crazy though. For a while, because they came out with all those new flavors like in the past year, but
Strawberry
for a
kiwi.
while, I'm pretty sure they only had regular and sugar free.
Yeah.
Just the two. And then they came out with like 4, 5 different flavors, I think. Which
pretty good.
they are good, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, well, you guys want to move on to our next topic?
Sure.
Topic Colin Kaepernick. Why don't
This
we
will
can
be a
both?
fun one.
Yeah, we can all go through, just kind of start, give like
Definitely.
kind of an idea of what you think of him and his protest, and just kind of just about like just give what you think about the situation overall. Breck, you can start being the guest.
All right. So this situation is just kind of interesting to me in general. Like I mean, my opinion's changed on it a couple times because I don't really know. Like, my podcast is called Plead the First, as I said before. So I'm really big on the First Amendment, free speech. So I think you have the right to absolutely sit, kneel, lay down, whatever you want to do during the national anthem. That's totally fine. I think that's anyone's right. I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be like screamed at and yelled at because of it, because they have the right. I mean, my thing is, it's a little hypocritical to me because you're saying that there's all this oppression going on, but like if you look at the NFL, what's the percentage of black players in the NFL? Like it's pretty high. So it's like you can't. I mean, I understand like police brutality and stuff like that's a big deal. My opinion's changed on it over the last year, just seeing some certain things. I don't think that every cop is a bad cop, and I don't think that every person who gets shot is innocent. That makes sense. So I think there could be definitely something to protest there. I don't think that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think that everyone's racist for not hiring him as a quarterback because he's not that great. To be honest.
Does he say he can go on the night?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what Breck said there. I just think that although he's protesting and like he gets so much attention because he's in the NFL, I just hate, like, I'm fine with people having their opinions, but I just hate when they try and like make a big deal about it, especially in his situation, like when he's playing in the NFL.
Well, the thing is,
like,
do you think?
Because I feel like he's more on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think it was kind of a publicity stunt? I mean, tell me, honestly.
So I thought that at first, but the reason I don't think it's a publicity stunt is because if you look over, maybe it started off that way and you end up regretting it, but if you look over the last 4 months, he has not, like he literally hasn't talked. So I think it's also, one thing that I saw someone on Sports Nation talking about it, the reason everyone's talking about this backup quarterback in the NFL is because the media is making a huge deal out of it. And maybe, like, this is just the thing the media would love to eat up, you know, but it's not necessarily
Well, yeah.
I don't know if he
That's a lot
necessarily
of
did
that.
it to get, like, he had to have known going into it this was gonna like get the media and
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't blame him 100% because you have people like Shannon Sharp. I'm not sure if you guys watch his show on ESPN, but like literally every day he talks about Colin Kaepernick for 20 minutes, and it's just kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of
It gets
ridiculous.
old.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's. I mean, like I said, I don't care. Like, do whatever you
the
want.
thing I would say about it, the thing I would say is that he has the right to do it, like he said.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's fine to be an activist and all this, but the thing that he's not doing is, the reason the media is talking so much, and I think a reason this is talked about so much, is because Colin's not talking for himself. And if I think I'm totally fine with the cause he's supporting too.
Spins.
Yeah, but if he would just do this and then he would actually be an activist and talk about what he's trying to say,
Yeah,
instead of letting the
definitely.
media leave it up to interpretation, I think that would help his cause a lot too.
Yeah, for sure.
And then also, like, I don't blame an NFL team for not signing him, not because I don't think, like, for one reason, like, I think people would say, like, oh, I wouldn't support a team if they had Kaepernick. I think that's kind of ridiculous, because, like, you're supporting these guys who have DUIs, or, like,
Yeah.
Von Miller's, like, one of my favorite players. He's been, like, accused of, like, or what he had the marijuana charge or whatever.
Well,
But it's like, you want to, but you, like, get mad at someone for taking a knee during the anthem. It's just kind of like,
It's
not
a little
necessarily-
hypocritical for people to be getting mad about
The
that.
reason,
but they
though,
kind of,
yeah.
shut their eyes when
The reason I
people
wouldn't want
beat their wives or whatever.
It's my bad. But the reason I wouldn't want Kaepernick on my team is not because like I have a problem with the knee, but it's just because if you're gonna be a backup quarterback, you can't be a distraction. I feel like, or a backup anything. You just can't be a distraction to the team. If this was fucking like LeBron or something taking a knee,
Yeah.
and then I mean it'd be fine because
Yeah.
LeBron's gonna back it up. Like LeBron's gonna be that distraction, but he's also gonna perform on the field. But you got Kaepernick being a distraction on the sideline, and then he's not doing anything to help you on the
Yeah.
field. It's just kind of
Does Kaepernick do anything like outside to actually try and fix stuff? I
he-
haven't really paid attention.
Okay, I think he maybe gave some money to someone or something, but he
Yeah.
also wore socks at training camp with a pig in a police uniform.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to come and have a discussion about like police brutality and problems with that, I'm all for that,
I
because
think, yeah.
that's bad. But if you're gonna come in with already having an opinion on what it is and there's no way to change it, like with pigs on your socks as cops, then we can't even have a
And like,
conversation.
for an example, like Chance the Rapper, like we were talking about the other day, he donated money to the Chicago School District, and
Right.
then he met with the mayor of Chicago,
Yeah.
talked it out. Colin Kaepernick, the thing he's doing, he's like, because Chance the Rapper trashed the mayor of Chicago on Twitter beforehand, but then he actually went and met with him and
Yeah.
talked it out.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick's basically, not necessarily that he's trashing him so much,
Yeah.
but Kaepernick is basically doing stuff like, oh, this is so unfair, but he's not doing anything to actually go
Yeah.
try and like, it doesn't seem like he might spark someone else to go make the change or something, but him
Yeah.
himself, he's not
Well,
leading
he
by example in
also
that way.
he also praised Fidel Castro, and if you want to talk about brutality and
Yeah.
overreach of government kind of thing, then you shouldn't be talking about Fidel Castro or any
Yeah,
dictator
and just to kind
like
of be
that.
more specific, like I'm sure like he's better than a lot of backup quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, like the dude led
He went to the
49ers to a
Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm sure he's better, but he was 1-10 last year. He's 2-16 in his last 18 starts. So,
Yeah, man.
and the fact is, like if he can't, like if he was just quiet, he'd be a fine back quarterback. I just don't think
Yeah.
he'd be a distraction if you're a
Yeah.
Do you
backup.
I
think
agree.
this stuff is contributing to him being a shitty quarterback?
I
I
think
think
it's
it is
probably a
because it's-
distraction. It's probably getting in his head.
I mean,
and
I
yeah.
can't like. I bet you he honestly, based on the facts that he hasn't talked in the last 4 months,
Probably
I bet you he does regret it because
Yeah.
he's getting all this publicity. Maybe he knew that he was gonna get something, but I
Yeah.
doubt he thought he was gonna get this much. Because I would not think when he started kneeing like a year ago that we'd be
Yeah.
talking about it
So,
still now.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say is Brandon Marshall, was it? I think it was Brandon
Mhm.
Marshall.
Yeah,
he
the
took a knee
Broncos.
for the Broncos. Was he the one that met with the Denver police chief? Or was that someone else?
It was him and TJ Ward. I thought. met with
Yeah,
him.
okay. So that's another thing. If you're going to protest and then you act on it like that and go meet with the Denver Police Department, talk to them about things, be involved in the community and not just
Yeah.
do something and then stand back and see the fallout from it.
Yeah.
I think that is something I'm totally on board with, no matter what the cause is, even if I don't agree
Yeah,
with
and
it.
it's just kind of weird because Kaepernick, when he does speak, he's a pretty well-spoken guy, but it just seems like he's like he doesn't want to go talk about the issues. He just kind of wants to do it and
Yeah.
then let it be, which is kind of weird. But do you guys even think, if say he stopped talking and everything, do you think he could honestly contribute to a team and help them win?
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if he could because
Yeah.
when was the 49ers go to the Super Bowl? Like 5 years ago or
It
something?
was a while ago. They played.
Seems like forever.
Yeah, and that was
It was a while ago.
honestly like
I was
he
like,
can be complaining
How
of.
old is he, dude?
He's like 20s. He was young when they were.
That's what I thought. Like he's not that old.
He's probably like 26, 27 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the overall consensus of what we're saying is that we don't really have an issue with what he's doing. Like we're taking meter in the anthem. Like a lot of people on Twitter like stand for the anthem or whatever, but I don't think he's kneeling out of disrespect for America. It was more him trying to protest, but I just think he's not protesting very effectively.
Another thing I want to say is like the American flag and national anthem, they're just symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have tremendous respect for those symbols. I stand up for the national anthem. I like it. I think it's cool. And they're symbols, and they represent a lot more than just what they are. Like they represent the freedom to be able to kneel down during the national anthem. So I think if you want to say that you have to stand for the national anthem, that's hypocritical to say I'm American, but I want you to stand for the national anthem. That's not how we work here.
Exactly. The fact that you're American gives you, like, one of the great things about America is that it gives you the freedom to be able to kneel and stand up for what you believe in. If like, America was everyone stands for the anthem, then nothing would change.
It'd be like Nazi Germany, dude.
Yeah.
That's like what it was.
So I mean, I think Kaepernick going forward, if he wants to be an activist, it's kind of hard because this directly interferes basically with his profession at this point. Because if he keeps doing this, he's not going to get signed, and if he gets signed, his protesting is probably going to not be as effective, you know.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. He has to decide that for himself. But if he wants to play football, make some money, maybe just put the protesting off for a couple years, do that after his career or something, or he can leave the NFL and go full.
Sorry. If you look at from like a business standpoint, like if you have someone like in your business, any business that's gonna like go around and they could be trashing your company or doing things and people see that they work for you and they're like, I don't really want that as a representation of my company. You got to think about it that way too.
Exactly.
The NFL's still a business.
Yeah, and it is like, even though like the stuff with the Ravens season ticket holders said they won't come to the Ravens games if Kaepernick signed, which like I don't agree with, but the fact is that's what they're saying, and I can understand why the owner wouldn't want to sign him then. Yeah. Like at the same time, I just don't get like why those fans, like I don't understand that thinking, because it's kind of, like there's definitely been players who've done worse. It's very shallow
thinking.
Yeah.
It's very trying to make everything black and white when it's not black and white. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. And like I said before, if you want to, like, it's hypocritical to say you're un-American if you don't stand for the national anthem, and I want everyone to stand for the national anthem.
Yeah, that's
not American.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And also, like, another thing where people say, like, oh, like, stand for the troops because they fought for you too. Yeah, but they also fought for the right for you to be able to kneel down. So, and I, like, personally, I think it's disrespectful to people who fought, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go telling Kaepernick to be like, you have to stand, everyone has to stand for the national anthem, because like I said, it takes away from the beauty of America. I mean, no one even, if you go to a game or a concert or whatever and the national anthem play, there's people sitting down there on their phones, no one cares. I mean, not no one, but there's a lot of people that don't care.
There's a lot, like I bet you a lot of the people too on social media who are like trashing Kaepernick, probably when they hear the national anthem, they don't necessarily stand there, but they're probably on their phone.
Like I said, it's just very shallow and black and white when it's not.
Do you guys think he's gonna get signed?
I don't.
You don't think? I thought if it wasn't gonna happen with the Seahawks, it wasn't gonna happen, because Seahawks literally, like, Richard Sherman said he wanted him, Russell Wilson said he wanted him, Pete Carroll wanted him. Everyone, like, literally the clubhouse, because the clubhouse really supports like what he's doing.
Which is cool.
And but the owner has the final call, and the owner said season ticket owners aren't going to come, so we can't do it. So
I think that's.
I bet they could fill those spots. So I don't know.
Yeah. And honestly, Kaepernick, it could be a good thing for him if he doesn't get signed. I know it's going to make him lose money, but if he wants to become an activist, it could give him a better opportunity to become like a better one if he's not dealing at all.
Practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say too is, sorry.
No.
But I've been seeing things about the Broncos should sign him. Like, I've laughed at those because people are like, oh, Trevor Siemian and Paxton Lynch haven't been doing that great in training camp, so why wouldn't the Broncos sign him? Yeah. It's like, because those two are probably better than him.
Yeah, like, it's exactly like
this. He's not like.
It's the media blowing it up, dude.
And then they try to turn it into like a racist thing, or like we don't want to sign him because of.
He's protesting.
Yeah, which is probably part of it, but it's not definitely not racist.
He was 1-10 last year. I mean, you can't blame a team for not wanting to sign a 1-10 backup quarterback who's going to be a distraction.
Just imagine it's this way. He doesn't protest at all. He goes 1-10 last year, is he even being talked about?
I mean, he's not. He wouldn't be being talked about. He'd probably have a job considering this fucking like Mark Sanchez getting a job. Like, I mean, if he has a backup, no one would give a shit.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of.
It's just. I don't know. It's just.
It's an interesting situation. It's kind of a waste of time at the same time. Because if I was like an anchor on SportsCenter or something, I'd fucking hate talking about Kaepernick all the time. Because why the fuck am I talking about a backup quarterback 24/7?
We live in just a giant circus now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Hang up the fucking
speaking,
Colin.
Honestly.
Speaking of circus, what do you guys think of Lavar Ball? Is he a loudmouth, or do you think what he's doing is strategic?
I think
It's a little bit
I think he's a fucking loudmouth that realized that he could make some money off of what he's doing.
Maybe.
I think initially that he didn't have any intention to have any strategy behind the shit that he was saying.
Dude, he played like 1 year in college.
Exactly. So I think after that, he just saw the attention that he was starting to get, and then is twisting it in a way that's good for him now.
So do you think like the reason like he's saying stuff? Because when he's saying stuff like I can beat MJ 1-on-1, or like me and LaMelo or Shaq and his son, we win every time. Do you think like why is he saying this? Because this isn't necessarily.
Because it's ridiculous and people are like.
Because you know he doesn't believe it.
They
When
get
you
so
look, like,
pissed.
have you guys ever seen the videos of when he's saying like he's like laughing as he's saying it?
That's the thing. That's what he
smart,
says
dude.
with all of his stuff. Like he's just fucking jacking around. Like if you guys, did you either of you guys watch the like Complex has like sneaker shopping with like certain people? His
on,
yeah. But the thing is like he walks in there and he's like
he's
flopping
all
around
goofy,
like
doesn't
it's just a
even care.
game for him, dude, and everybody eats it up. So
They
it's
do.
funny.
I mean,
like
it's pretty
it doesn't bug me. Like at first I was like, dude, this guy's such an idiot. But now it's like funny. Like how it's.
Well, like we have a president who won because of saying ridiculous things.
Yeah,
basically
works, dude. Like,
yeah, people like you say I could beat MJ 1-on-1. Everyone's like.
No, he
Sees that. No, you couldn't. No way. No way. And they like get all up in arms, and then he just sits back and laughs because everyone's looking at him.
And then exactly, he says this shit, and none of it will
But do you
ever
think- do you
happen.
think
Like,
that's
he can
actually-
say whatever.
But
he
when you think
wants.
about it this way, like that's interesting. I agree with it. But now that, do you think he's trying to start big baller brand or whatever? Maybe that I kind of think that could just be like something he's doing, trying to get attention from Nike and Adidas.
Yeah.
But do you think that's an effective way to market like a brand, or just kind of marking off like this bullshit he's
I
saying?
don't really
No,
think so.
I don't
Yeah.
think
If
so.
you want to market yourself as an individual, definitely. Look at Conor McGregor. I mean, that's how he's one of the reasons why he's famous. He says crazy shit, and then he backs it up. So it's a little different. But.
Dude, that's the thing, because it's kind of the same thing with like Kaepernick. Like if he was doing this and he was a star player, no one would care, you know. And I think it's kind of up to Lonzo. Like if Lonzo goes into the Lakers and fucking averages 9 points a game or whatever, everyone's just gonna look at this whole family like you guys are trash.
Yeah.
Lonzo goes there and averages 25 a game.
I'd be pissed if I was him though. I'd
If
be
you're
like, Dad,
Lonzo?
shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I'd be pretty mad too.
He reminds me of like a dad that like he like used to play baseball. He's like coaching baseball or like he's at his son's game.
Tight ass shirt on, huge arms,
just yelling.
gas cans on the face.
Gas cans, definitely. Just yelling like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And, like yelling at the ump and all that. That's kind of what he reminds me of, just on a bigger.
But do you think it's
stage.
helping or hurting? So we all agree it's not helping Lonzo any.
I don't think so because
I don't think it helps.
Well, the thing is, dude, I kind of feel like it does help Lonzo, because you look at Lonzo, like Nike did offer him something. It wasn't up to Lamar's standards or Lavar's standards or whatever. But you, but you look at fucking Lonzo. He's getting these shoe deals already. Who's the fucking second overall pick? Markelle Fultz isn't even talked about because Lonzo. So I mean, in a way, it kind of is helping.
Yeah, but that's just a big monkey on your back too.
It is true. It gives you a lot more pressure.
I think it doesn't help them at all playing wise in the actual game on
It
the
helps
court,
them,
but it helps them with their personal brand.
It's
Well, 'cause, like,
definitely
you
important
let-
as an athlete. You definitely want that.
Yeah.
And it seems like they can
Can't play
handle
forever.
the pressure that they
If
get.
they can, that's
I
awesome.
mean, I respect Lonzo a lot. I really like him because
played
his
well in
dad's.
rookie ball, right? Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he won MVP of the summer league.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that'll be interesting. But do you think? What do you guys think of BBB? Do you think it's a big baller brand? Do you think it's gonna?
so ugly shoes.
Oh, it's terrible. Do you think he's actually trying to build big baller brand, or do you think he's just trying to fucking? Because Lonzo's not even wearing the shoes in games, so wearing Nikes and Adidas or whatever.
Yeah, maybe he is.
I think he is. I think there'll be more like a merch kind of deal.
Yeah, their shoes.
I feel like Lonzo's still gonna sign with Nike or something.
Yeah, I mean there is that
that
interesting, like the Gary Vee talking about him. Like he had a really interesting like point about it. Gary Vee was talking on Sports Nation, I think is what it was, with him about like Lavar, and he was just saying if you think about it, like putting Lonzo out there wearing all those different shoes, it shows like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, like he puts these shoes on and all this noise. So I think that's kind of a cool concept So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I've never even like checked out their website or anything like that.
No, we saw like one picture of the Laker colored ones and they're
Yeah. So I don't know. I think
they look like starberries from Kmart.
Yeah, fucking starberries. It's like in elementary school.
Yeah, they're sick.
They were actually
I'm just
sick.
kind of curious to see if Lavar's he's gonna keep like his loud mouth up during the season, or if he's gonna kind of tone it back. Or
Yeah,
Well,
it's just so funny how much people care. Like he's a fucking
He's a
dad.
dad,
Like he's not
yeah.
even on the court.
dude, and the thing is, Lonzo doesn't say shit. Like Lonzo
No.
literally, I don't even know what Lonzo like sounds like or anything.
Yeah.
And you hear so much about
None
his
of them
dad.
Never even heard, yeah, I've never seen a video of him talking.
Yeah.
Never. See, but what's funny is like, if you look at society in general, everyone just loves like craziness now.
Obscene shit.
Yeah, they just like people eat that up.
I mean,
or
dude,
something.
you think
I
about
don't like
the
that.
fucking thing we're talking about on our podcast today, and the thing that you see on SportsCenter 9 times out of 10 you go on, is a fucking backup quarterback and a fucking dad with a second
Yeah,
overall pick.
seriously.
You're not even talking.
Like-
You're not even talking about like Matt Ryan or whatever, if they're going to be able to come back from that terrible Super Bowl loss, or if
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz can come back from his injury or whatever.
Yeah.
You're literally talking about the second overall pick's dad, who's not even going to play. Like it's
Second
literally-
overall pick that.
Literally, it's ridiculous.
I just think everyone just loves. So people's lives are basically chaos. So they look to other people's chaos as like, oh, it's not that bad for me.
The thing is with
Hey, look at this guy.
Lavar, the thing is, like, I feel like he puts on like this facade, but like his life is literally. I feel like he's like so content with what he has. And, like,
Dude, did you guys see those videos the other day of them, all the Ball brothers? They were leaving some like practice facility. Those kids had some fucking
Yeah, I know.
whips. Like, do you think they made money from like this brand? Like, I don't think they were like that wealthy of
What
a
does-
family from the
What does
start.
Lavar do? Like, does he have like
I'm pretty sure he's a full-time AAU coach now.
Yeah,
Really?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. But yeah, this video was absolutely insane. And they just all had these sick cars, and LaMelo like can't even drive, so he just had a buddy that was driving him around. But yeah, I don't know.
That's
See if it like just says anything about him.
I don't know. Maybe he's just a genius and we don't.
Yeah.
We
Well, I
don't
mean, we
realize
like
that.
realize what he's doing, but
He's trying, yeah.
Yeah, look at this. It talks about him playing practice squad member of the New York Jets and Carolina Panthers in '95, and then it goes, following a series of bold statements in the spring of 2017. Like,
Just a gap.
like
just
20 years,
22
years of his
gap.
life just don't exist.
At the same time though, like
Did he ever have a job?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
thing is,
short
dude, like
after,
the
yeah.
thing that people I don't think don't realize is, I guess, what do you guys think about this topic? Do you think he is a good dad? Because I think he's a pretty good dad. I mean, he's
Well, I mean, being a good dad is a lot more than, you know.
what he's doing, but no, a lot of people, you know how they're saying like, oh, this is so bad for the kids or whatever.
Mm.
And I mean, he obviously cares a lot about his kids. That's why he's saying all this obscene shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think he is a good dad. I mean, at the end of the day, he just like
He's a
he
kind of
does
a
all
jackass.
this. He is a jackass, but if you think about it, everything he's doing is for his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe he puts a little extra pressure on them, but that's about it. I'm trying to look at their fucking website, and it looks like you have to sign up for an email. Yeah, it looks like they got a decent amount of shirts and stuff like
Those aren't
that.
bad, those shoes. They weren't
I
too bad.
know, they literally look, where was that?
I don't know, BBB
Dude, it
is
looks
such
like Russell.
It's a dumb
Yeah,
thing. Like,
they're so
BBB.
fucking expensive too. Dude, the thing too, I remember Lonzo, they were talking to him about it, cause on the like sneaker shopping, cause his shoes literally looked like, this is like the Boost material, like on an Adidas, that's how it looks. This upper is like a Kobe, and then they're just like, so like, how'd you design these shoes? And he's like, yeah, I just basically like picked parts from all my favorite shoes. So he just like put them all into one.
Well, dude, you look at it,
God
they were literally
awful.
like, they were talking about signing with Nike or whatever one day, and then like 2 days later they had big baller brands. So they obviously did not put that much effort into the shoes or whatever. And they like had no marketing for like this, like you think like Lonzo Ball's first sneaker coming out in October and hype it up till then, but they literally didn't do anything. That's what kind of
That'd
leads me to
probably be
think that-
smarter if they did that.
Yeah, that kind of shows me why they don't really care about it. They're kind of just using this as a tactic to get some attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which may be genius.
Yeah.
That we don't.
We'll have to see. But at the end of the day, I don't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. I don't think.
I don't even know anything about the Lakers other
They
than
have a lot of young talent.
They do, but the West is stacked.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah, I don't see him.
if they're in the East, they would, but I
that.
don't.
Yeah.
Signed Kyrie Irving.
That'd be sick.
Every day.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Our last topic of the day: top artists / albums of our childhood for the music segment.
Yeah.
Like
What did you guys mostly listen to when you were younger? Was it
I was-
mostly rap?
When I was younger, I didn't listen.
This guy's got a story for us, though.
I literally listened, like, I was not big in music till like I didn't listen to anything except like what my parents listened to, so like kindergarten through like 4th grade.
Yeah.
And then 5th grade, I like vividly remember this because I was like at like the lunch table and my friends were all like rapping this song, and I was like, "What is that?" And they were like making fun of me because I didn't know the song. And I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I went home and I looked up "Mockingbird" by Eminem. And I was like, "Oh shit, dude, this is like sick!" And I just got like obsessed with Eminem. That's like 5th, 6th grade. That's basically all I listened to was Eminem. And then I kind of got into like Drake, Lil Wayne, like the beginning of Drake. Like I think it was around like 7th grade. Take Care came out, and I got really like that. But like listened to like Lil Wayne quite a bit, and then like the first album I ever bought like with my own money was Graduation. So I mean that was I basically was like kind of just Eminem, Kanye, Drake most of my
I think
childhood.
middle school was like the same for me, kind of when I started listening to it. Like
And
Brecken
then-
and I fucking go on the bus with our beats on.
Yeah, and then
all
also
cool.
just got a lot of my music from like the radio, you know, like that's
radio.
It's basically-
Radio slept on. Radio slept on.
Radio's terrible.
Definitely not slept
Radio's
on.
the fucking worst thing that's
So-
ever been.
Yeah.
What about you, Breck?
My thing is like I've always been into like everything music wise. Like I would listen to whatever, and I got into rap like pretty young because my neighbors that I used to live around were a lot older and they'd listen to it, and my cousins and shit. So I'd be like, oh, like what's this, whatever. So I listened to that. So first, I think, like you said, first album I bought with my own money was Akon, Trouble, or not Trouble,
Convict.
Convict, and
It's a good one.
I listened to Akon a lot. Me and my brother used to listen.
Sick.
He was good. I liked it. Whatever. So I listened to that, and then I'd listen to Lil Wayne like
Yeah.
religiously. Like, you play me a Lil Wayne song, I'll rap the whole
That's a
thing.
proven fact.
So
Come on,
yeah,
America's Got Talent.
What about you, Z-Set?
Yeah, I think I've always been like a real like rap, R&B, like hip hop kind of guy.
Yeah, I feel like that's like how most people in our generation are. It's just
Yeah.
the most popular thing.
I mean, I mostly listen to country now, but I still like rap. To some degree.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the like first rap song that I ever listened to or like really just like fell in love with was like Stronger. By
Yeah, Kanye.
That
I
sounds
just remember that like we used to have sleepovers and stuff and just bump that stuff during
Yeah.
Nerf gun battles and whatnot.
Yeah, and like
But yeah, I was a big Kanye guy, and then I have like a couple other guys that I just remember like listening to and liking a lot. I remember I loved Wiz. That like kind of Wiz was the first artist I listened to that kind of like when I listened to his Cabin Fever stuff. That was like the first time I kind of got like into the mixtapes, like more underground kind of thing. But yeah, I loved Wiz, and then I also remember like Jay-Z was one of my favorites too.
Yeah,
like the
same,
Blueprint,
like, yeah.
right? And then
Blueprint 3.
yeah, exactly. So I like those ones. I think were the biggest. But then like I don't know
Then
the
I
other ones.
just
so.
like now I'm thinking like albums like it all came out around like middle school, like Lasers by Lupe. It's
I was
kinda-
thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, the show goes on. Dude, like, yeah.
I
but-
think when I was younger though, I was a lot more into singles, not necessarily full.
Same, like, more
I think
on
everyone
yeah.
kind of was because you didn't
Yeah.
know how to go like find.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. That's kind of that's one of my questions. Is how did you guys like find music then? 'Cause I know for me it was either like my friends like randomly like one of us would be like, yo, I found this song on YouTube.
Yeah.
Check out Otis, like
That's a
Kanye
good
and Jay Z,
point.
or like
Yeah.
most time if it wasn't like a friend coming to me and saying check out this song, it was radio. Like that's the only way I find stuff. So what about?
Yeah, I think that was the same, dude. I remember it was such a struggle, like hearing a song that you liked or like
Yeah.
being around, and you're like, how the fuck
Dude,
did
I
Or
remember
you
this
catch the
song?
end of it and you're
Yeah.
like,
Dude.
are in the car and you're like, shit.
Dude, I'm dead serious. I literally one time I was in Arizona and I heard Day and Night by Kid Cudi.
Uh-huh.
And I literally remembered the lyrics in my head for like a full like 2 weeks. Like I'm dead. Like I literally made myself like remember like every hour. Because as soon as I get home, I'm looking that up.
Yeah, you just
And I-
fucking go in and type
Yeah.
it in, it's like day and night song, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
I
pop up.
toss and turn.
Like I remember too when there would be a song that come on that you really liked and you just got home. Like I would tell my mom, I'd be like, just leave it on. Like we have to finish out this song.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
hear it
Or
for
like
another
sit in the
week.
car,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
dude, I
Because you're only gonna
remember,
hear that song one
Yeah.
time for the.
dude, I remember I used to carpool with some of my buddies to go to baseball, and literally every single time we were in the car, we would just hope that "Look at Me Now." When we did, we'd all try to rap it and stuff like that. But yeah, literally, that's a crazy
Mine was
point.
like-
I would just beg for a song to be on the radio.
Yeah,
Now they
like
fucking play
airplane.
3.
Yeah.
So we would do that, and then we'd get those the Now That's What I Call Music CDs. You know,
Yeah.
did you see those at all?
No, I
And
don't
oh,
think I
what?
did.
Now That's What I Call Music. They have albums on iTunes and stuff, but they're just like whatever. I don't know. There's like a bunch of. it's probably up to like 50 something now, but we had like now 22. It would be like
Oh,
four times a year they come out with an album, like a CD.
I've seen those.
So we'd get those, like all the hot songs. So I had a little stereo that it was like that I bought with my own money, and I would put the CDs in and play them, and I would like play PlayStation in my room. Just listen to like the CDs, and it would be like, it was weird because it would be like T-Pain and then like Nickelback. And whoever, some country song.
That's true.
So that's kind of how I got into listening to everything, because I just let that shit play.
It's really interesting to think about like artists back then, how they like evolved. Because like I thought about like Lupe Fiasco, like I was huge in middle school. B.O.B. huge in middle school.
B.O.B.
Yeah, like Airplanes, like and like Kanye was big then, Drake was big then. Like all four of those guys like huge in middle school, and you just think like Kanye's now like this like legend status. Drake's like best in the game right now, like most popular artist. And then Lupe and B.O.B. just like Lupe went off the fucking, well, they kind of both went off the rails. Like it's just kind of weird, like how, like you would never, like you think of the artists now today, and you can kind of like say like, oh, I bet Yachty's gonna fall off the map or something like that. Which is weird, because like back then these guys were just all like huge, and then you get to the point in high school and you're like, oh, I can actually look up music, and then you're like, oh, B.O.B. hasn't made anything since he was on the radio 3 years ago.
About him.
Yeah.
Radio 3 years ago.
Wait, but do you guys think, like was there any like albums or artists that like you wish you were like a bigger fan of back then, or like one thing I wish Kanye would come out with Graduation like now, so I could go see that live in concert, if that makes sense. Like,
that'd be cool.
Like, is there like an era of like an artist that you wish you could go see or something like that?
I got another one for this.
Yeah, you can go first.
So I would love to have been around when Johnny Cash was like big, because I love Johnny Cash, but like, so like what he did is insane. Like he had problems with substance abuse or whatever, so then after that he came back and was trying to do something new and different that no one had done before. He was looking at letters, and he found a bunch of letters from like prison inmates, because he sang a lot about like prison and stuff. So he went to his record company and was like, I want to go to a prison and record an album.
Oh, really?
And they were like, no way. You like people who listen to you are like Christian, they don't want to hear that. And he's like, well, then they're not Christian if they don't want to do that, like help out convicts. So they're like, he was like, let me record it, and if it hits, it hits. If not, then you don't even have to release it. So he went to prisons around like the country and just played live concerts and recorded an album off. It's probably the coolest album.
Dude, I was like, I don't know if it's the same album, but like I was like listening to Johnny Cash a while ago, and I heard his song like "I Walk the Line," like one of his most popular songs. Was that on the album you're talking about?
Well, I mean, it wasn't originally, but he played his old songs and then released it live.
Because I just remember like listening to that, and it's like this country music, like what he's saying is like hood, dude. Like it's like some like
it's pretty
hood
shit.
Like,
it could be, yeah. There's a song he has called "Cocaine Blues." Definitely look that one up. It's it's interesting. But like I said, I mean, if you think about if someone did that now, like it wouldn't work the same. It wouldn't.
You just can't do that. Like record labels have such control over their artists now. And half the time they won't even release the album if you want it out. So I mean,
and like, it's cool to just listen to that and just hear like how like pumped up the guys are that are like there just cheering, like, because they're in prison, like, you know, some of them for life. Like you wouldn't get that ever usually. So it's just like genuine like happiness. So I think that's cool. That's one of the things I would like to have been around for.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Cool concept. Yeah, I agree with Gus. I think Kanye would be cool to see. I know, like, once I started getting more into rap, I listened to a lot of his old stuff, but like actually seeing him live or like the attention around that was like already passed. So I think that'd be cool to see him. I think that's about it.
Yeah, like the Watch the Throne phase would have been sick to see. Like,
I would have seen. Dude, those concerts look wild.
Yeah, I would have like loved to have been around the '90s and just be around that whole like protest establishment rap, like
that would be the coolest thing, because that's like basically what made rap.
It blew it.
That's interesting.
It was not.
Does anyone like stick out to you right now about like kind of how like just like specifically from our childhood, just like a couple years ago, like middle school, elementary school, they've influenced how music sounds now? Because like one person I would think of is like Kanye, because like the stuff, and like Drake even, because like Kanye and Drake. First kind of rappers that like kind of sing and rap and like sing more about their feelings and not be like these huge like macho like gangster rappers, you know. And now you look almost every rapper like Yachty's like pretty vulnerable. Like you have like all these guys who are really influenced from them. But like I think that's just interesting. And then like you have like T-Pain back then, like he was the first to use auto-tune,
Yeah,
and like
Definitely.
and like not necessarily like he doesn't get enough like a lot of credit for it, but like he was definitely one of the first people to make auto-tune like pop culture, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how those things evolve and what like sticks for the long run. I mean, everything kind of changes and evolves, and nothing really sticks for forever. But
Yeah.
it's kind of cool to see. That's a cool thing about like actually like paying attention to music and stuff, and seeing like where things were, where they are now, and what people pay attention to and whatnot. So
Music's like it's cool.
Yeah, you talk about forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
yeah. Well,
Guess,
you guys got any other points?
No, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Breck, appreciate
Cool,
you
guys.
coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me
You gotta
out.
check out his podcast.
Anytime.
Plead the First. We're gonna link it. You can check it out.
And these guys might make an appearance to talk about Anchor Wash and a little bit of other
Yeah.
stuff.
Definitely.
Yes, so.
Cool. Yeah, well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll get you guys with another episode coming up, I don't know, probably this upcoming week. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.